Brother, it's a long road from Amistad to Toho. Doesn't matter which way you go, the miles are all the same. When you finally get there, when you pull the cover off, then it's time to get a little bit lost out on the lake. Gonna bag this boat into the water, find a way to win a couple dollars. Weatherman says there's a cold front coming down. Bring it on, I've seen it all by now. I can catch 'em shallow, I can catch 'em deep. Open water or the back of the creek. The wind and rain to me, it's all the same. I make a living playing this game, and I thank the Lord above every time I can. I get to be a fisherman.
Hey guys, welcome back to Rose Outdoors. Today's show is going to be on fishing line. I get asked a lot, and I think a lot of fishermen out there just have a lot of line questions. There's so many different variations of line, different materials of line, sizes, things like that. So I just thought I would share with you guys what I throw. This is just Mark Rose's version. I'm gonna tie a leader here in a minute on the spinning rod, and a braid to fluorocarbon leader, and it may not be the right, a knot that you guys throw, but it works for me. And I'll just go into why I tie it, how I tie it. I probably tie it quicker and uglier than anybody else. Again, it works for me. That's just like tying line, backing onto a bait caster and connecting a line to my backing. I tie an overhand knot and I cut it whenever I use my backing if I put, backing on a bait caster, let's say it's 20 pound, whatever. And then I'm gonna throw 15, my main line on a bait caster. I'll just tie an overhand knot and cut it. And people ask me all the time when they see that, they say, you're just tying an overhand knot, what if you ever get down to that? I'm never gonna get down that low in my spool. I'm never gonna catch a shark where I have to feed. If I catch a shark, he can have it. I want him to break it. But any other time, in 22 years, I have never gotten down to an overhand knot where I connect my backing to my main line. So it may be the same way with this leader here. You may say, well, there's better knots out there. I'm sure there is. Aaron Martin, who I have the utmost respect for, love that man dearly. Keep Aaron Martins in your prayers. He needs it. He's fighting a tough battle right now. We need to pray for him. But he looks at me when I tie this knot. He's seen me splice my fluorocarbon and braid together, and he said, bro, there's a better knot out there. Don't tie that. It works. It's easy. I can tie it just like that. He has to have both feet, all his toes, his arms, and all his fingers to tie the knot that he ties, and it takes him 15 minutes to do it. And I kid you that he can do it pretty quick. But this is really simple, and I'm gonna show you an easy knot that works for me. But first, I'm gonna go into fishing lines. I use Seaguard line. It's the best fluorocarbon out there. That's the reason I use it. I wanted to ally myself early in my career with a company that was, especially when it comes to my equipment, that are the best. Seaguard was the best. They had the best reputation out there. That's what most people were throwing early on. So I got involved with them, and I'm thankful, been blessed to work with them for all these years. And it's just the line that I throw. Probably the most common fluorocarbon out there that Seaguard makes, probably the most popular, is Invis-X. It's a great fluorocarbon. The price point is right there to where it's more attractive to most people. So Seaguard Invis-X is an awful good one. And this is the line that I throw, and it has been for, the past several years. Whenever I want to throw 17, I love 17. It's what I throw my football jigs on. It's what I throw casting a big worm, offshore fishing. It's what I throw my swim baits on, ledge fishing type swim baits and things like that. I throw a lot of 17, so I throw InvizX for that line size. We don't make it yet in Tatsu, which is my favorite line. The reason this is my favorite, and again, I'm gonna give you a simple answer. It's what the engineers that know a whole lot more than me about fishing line say is the best. It's the best in all the tests. So when it comes to breaking strength and knot strength and things like that, it's right there. It's top ranked, maybe not at the top at some of those categories, but when you add all those categories together, it has the highest rating of all of it. So it's a double structured fluorocarbon. What does that mean? It's got double of the structure, whatever they call whatever the structure is in a line is double. If I got a single barrel shotgun and I got a double barrel shotgun and I'm going hunting, I want the double barrel shotgun. If I'm buying a pack of cookies and it says double fudge, it's got double fudge, I'm gonna go with those. Double structured fluorocarbon means it's better. And I'm gonna keep it real simple and say that's the reason why I throw Tatsu. But I kind of jokingly say all that, but guys, I've used it, I've put it to the test, it works. So that's why I throw Tatsu. Now, I mentioned categories. There's one category in there that's in all those tests called abrasion resistance. When it comes to abrasion resistance, and whenever I get around, like at Lake Travis, whenever I'm around all those mussels, I want to throw InvizX because it has the highest ranking in abrasion resistance. And if I'm not as worried about knot strength or tensile strength or a lot of those little things that maybe Tatsu is stronger in because I'm already using a size, say, that's big enough to handle all that. And InvizX is really good in a lot of, it's not like it's low in any of those categories. It may be right there medium in, say, a tensile strength or something like that, but it's highest in its category in the whole lineup in abrasion resistance. And I'm fishing around mussels and mussel beds and zebra mussels. And, if you go up, you have barnacles, you go up in some areas that might have a lot of barnacles. If I'm really skipping a worm underneath docks and I'm really worried about my abrasion, InvizX is what I'm going to throw the most. This is the best line to throw whenever you're fishing really around stuff that's going to scar up your line, basically. So Gold Label is a new line that I'm throwing now. It's the best leader that we have. It's the thinnest leader that Seaguar offers, and it's just super strong. I'm blown away. I had some of this for a little while, and I just, for whatever reason, didn't really throw it all that much. And then this year, Seaguar was sending us some emails saying, man, have you guys try this line? It's unbelievable. We're sending you some, check it out. So I knew then that I better check. I got some, ordered some in the sizes that I throw the most, and I've been blown away at how strong this is and how thin it is. Guys, I lay my head on my pillow at night, and I have to know that I'm not sitting up there feeding a bunch of bull to people. So I can tell you with a straight face and with all honesty, this is the baddest leader that you will throw. It's been a saltwater leader, and then we've started adding it into freshwater sizes. Seaguar has, and man, it's just the strongest, thinnest leader out there. So this is what I'm throwing when I'm connecting my braid to fluorocarbon. And of course the Smackdown, I throw 15-pound braid, probably more than I throw any other time, but I will throw 20 whenever I feel like now I'm going to Florida and I'm going to be throwing 12 and 15-pound leader on my spinning rods. So that's when I will go to 20, and I know that I'll be around probably some type of cover whether it be grass or whatever, and I'm having to pull those fish and put a lot of pressure on them if they get bogged up. I had to jump in last time we were down in Florida after one, so I want to be able to pull him up out of there and not have to do that and fight those gators. So I will go to 20, but I throw 15 probably most of the time. I will go to 10 whenever we're in gin clear water situations. So that's the lines that I throw. I throw 12 pound most of the time cranking, 15 pound if I'm around, clear water, throwing football jigs, things like that, casting whenever I'm around really clear water. Most of the time I'm throwing 17 and 20 for normal fishing, throwing thunder crickets and swim jigs and top waters and stuff like that. So top water, I'll throw a lot of braid smack down. We have stealth gray, which is what I flip, pitch, and throw top waters, a lot of my top waters with, and then I'll throw the flash green in all of my finesse type or normal shaky head and drop shot and stuff like that. So I'm gonna tie you a leader real quick. I told you that I'm gonna tie you a really simple leader. This is 12 pound gold label. I take it in my left hand. I'll just put a little loop right there. Take my braid in my right hand. I always wet it just a little bit, just to keep it from sticking on my fingers. Put it in there and just kind of trap it with this other finger. I'll go 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, going that way. And I forgot to tell you the name of this is Crazy Alberto. Alberto must have been a crazy dude, but could tie a good knot. And they named the knot after him. That's what Justin Lucas and Cody Meyer and some of the guys that I talked to early on when I was wanting to tie this knot, that's what they called it. They told me it was called that. I called it Crazy Alberto. And I tie it just like they taught me to tie it. I don't try to reinvent something that I know nothing about. So I've gone 5 times that way, and I go 5 times back over the top of that the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I know you're supposed to overlap it just right, make it all pretty, get it in the seams, but I take that and I do that like right here. I wet it, you grab both of them, and again, I kind of smooth, if one of them's kind of heavy on it, and I kind of smooth it out, you just pull it tight right there, get outside of it, pull it tight. And here's the whole key to this knot, is taking your fluorocarbon and getting a tight, cutting your tag in real tight to that knot. And I'll just take my scissors right down to the knot, snip it right there, make sure I get it nice and tight, come back, snip my braid. Y'all notice how quick that was. I can do it a lot quicker than if I didn't have to stop and talk about it, but I cut my braid right there. I'll take them, make sure, look, I just cut myself, I cut my finger right there. I dug line into my finger pulling that, so it's pretty daggum strong. And then I'll reel it up to where, I never like reeling that inside of my reel. I'll reel it up to about right here where my finger is, where it's just shy of my reel, and then I'll go up here to where I feel like I'm gonna tie my lure, go down below it just a little bit, cut it, that's my knot. Crazy Alberto, nice and streamlined, goes through your guides real good. It works, it's easy, it's fast. Again, make a loop with your fluorocarbon, tie your braid through, trap it, 5 times this way, 5 times back over, pull it tight, cut your tags, you're done. Crazy Alberto. It works for Crazy Mark Rose, and that's your line fishing Rose Outdoors for the week. Hope you guys enjoy it. I keep it real simple, but no need to complicate your line. Throw in Vizex if you want a good all-around line. If you want the best, throw Tatsu. If you're around a lot of barnacles and gonna need a lot of abrasion resistance, throw a Brazex. Fluorocarbon to braid leader, throw gold label. braid, use Smackdown, can't go wrong. God bless you, and thanks for tuning in to Rose Outdoors.